Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains May 2nd through the 12th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
So next one I'd like to talk about is how do you replicate tournament time in practice?
Yep.
And I'm gonna take on this because, like you said, we're a week away. In about a couple hours, they're going to be releasing our seeds for our tournament. First of all, replicating for the high school season and replicating tournament, you should if you're waiting till a week or two before it's too late. There are several things I think go into this criteria. First thing is mentally preparing them for what it's going to be like, what the gym's going to be like, how it's going to be hotter, how it's going to be fuller crowds, all of these things, how it's going to be one and done. I've been talking about this for a month and a half about this is like tournament time. You lose, you go home. Like, we got to pretend like we can't lose this game. That's maybe why we've won 11 of our last 13, I think. So I think that is it. I think also a lot of the situational work should be ramping up now. Because games get closer, games get more physical. We spend, at the beginning of the season, very little time on situations. And I know we had a podcast about this, but then we ramp that up. We also in our program have some traditions that we do, and I'm not going to share them all in this podcast because I'm still coaching and I don't want to give all my secret sauces away. But we have a lot of traditions that are just tournament traditions, things we just do because it's tournament time. Here's how we do this. Here's how we do this. And I think that
Do you feel like you need to focus at one game at a time for the kids? But obviously you know that your coaches and so forth, you've been preparing already months ago, getting film for multiple people.
Oh yeah, we've got film on everybody.
And so forth.
We've got film on everybody in our sectional already.
I know, I really enjoy your huddle. It's amazing. And also I watch a lot of good basketball. Yeah. It's been nice.
I put a couple of behind the scene things. You should watch those. I don't make those public. Those are more for teaching. Those are more for me. And I don't know if I put them on huddle. I might have put them on somewhere else because it's more for like when I do my pregame or I just want to watch how I'm doing it to get the nuances of my coaching. But yes, for me, since probably that 36-hour bus ride back from Florida in December, I've been thinking about tournament and preparing, just thinking about it, but more preparing, like getting the tape. It's not like we don't have synergy.
So, but you, I mean, you've been doing this so long and you got it down to a science because you've won multiple state titles. What would you say to a new coach that's just really getting their feet wet at the head coaching? What was the best aim towards playoffs? I mean, you got it down to a science.
First of all, you need help.
Right.
You're going to need help with scouts. You're going to need help with breakdowns. So you got to delegate. That's the first thing. We have our senior night, parent night, senior night on Tuesday. It's Sunday when we're doing this. I mean, I go by the things. Like I'll buy the things like flowers and the programs and those. I'll buy those.
Yeah.
Personally, that's my gift to them. But
Yep.
the other stuff is all delegated, either the senior parents or my assistant coaches or all that kind of stuff. Because I don't know, I'm worried about our opponent. I'm worried about getting us ready. So I think one of the big things is to be able to delegate a lot of those nuances to. I always say it's below my pay grade. My pay grade's not that high, actually, but it's always below my pay grade.
So how do you replicate playing back-to-back, just some of the times throughout the season where you play back-to-back?
That is
because
hard.
that's a special gift in itself. It is hard.
That is hard.
It's I mean, like the state tournament in itself, like when you were in 2000s, I mean, you were playing 3 games in 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep. So that, again, it goes to preparation. Like we'll already, once the seeds come out, we'll figure out who we're playing Friday and who we could possibly play on Saturday. We'll have, so the key is hydration, the key is sleep, and the key is what they eat within several hours of the end of the game. Are you having
your assistant coaches then fast drawing all the other teams to have that in preparation?
Yes.
Whether it's.
So we'll have the 3 teams for that weekend. We don't worry about the next week. So we play somebody on Friday, and then we will have all 3 ready.
Okay.
For after that game. So we win on Friday. I'm knocking.
So you got the team that you're playing, and then obviously what?
Yeah. So
the 2 teams that you could possibly play.
So we have to have 2 scouts. So you do work on stuff that you won't use. Yep, 100%.
Right, it happens. That's just what you got to do. You got to overwork to win. That's just the way it is. You got to outwork them.
So we'll win on Friday.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Either home or away. I don't know, probably be away this year, how crazy our sectional is. So away. And then we will jump on the bus. We will hand them the scout of the team we're playing, because we'll know as soon as we find out on Twitter or whatever, we'll hand them that scout, Team A or Team B. Team B will get thrown away. Team A, they'll get handed. And then we will also feed them. So we have to replenish them at that point with what they just lost. So so they'll have an apple, they'll have some nuts, they'll have a sandwich.
You take a lot of initiative to make sure these kids are eating right.
I've already talked to a nutritionist that I can replenish everything that they've lost as long as I do it within about 2 hours of that.
That's a great tidbit,
game.
Man. That's awesome.
So as coaches, that's what you got to think about, because back-to-back is, for us, is 72 minutes of playing within – a 24-hour period.
Because what, for you this week and next weekend, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, right?
So this week, like I said, we play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah, you got obviously regular season,
but then the end of the week would be we won't be in the play-in game on Tuesday, so we will play Friday, Saturday. Right. So we will also start hydrating them starting Sunday, a week from today. Basically, we'll start hydrating them, and we have they think I'm crazy. We have a hydration scale from 1 to 8 or 1 to 7. I forgot what it was. And they should always be 1, 2, or 3. 3, you're getting dehydrated. 4, you are dehydrated. And it's basically a color from clear urine to all the way to you should go see a doctor. No one should be, it's like brownish almost. Like your kidneys are shutting down or something. I don't know. But, and I'm always telling them, are you hydrating? Are you hydrating? Are you 1 through 3? Because the issue is that second night tends to be a packed house. That second night tends to be hotter, because here's what happens in Wisconsin. They don't have this problem in Nevada. The problem is it's middle of March, and you know what March is like in Wisconsin. It starts getting warmer, but the heat's still on in the schools, and you put 2,000 people in a gym. So that's not a great combination for how warm it can be.
Too.
Say that again.
It also is a spread. It could be a easy catalyst for sickness because of all that warm temperature in people. It is, and it's close.
Yes. So I don't even want to cross the bridge of sickness. But yes, I know what you're talking about. But anyway, so we always, and if they don't hydrate, they cramp. They're cramping that second night. That's the issue. And that's something we always, the food and we'll give them a Gatorade, we'll give them a water, we'll give them a chocolate milk. Chocolate milks are actually really good for getting everything they need back in them. No, I do live in the dairy state, but it is true. Do some science on it. Water's really good too, but I can sometimes get the chocolate milk down them better than I can.
All right, so then the last question I would have is, there's moments in the game where they just have to make a decision themselves. How do you replicate that? I mean, it's easy to put it. I mean, it's just trusting your players. I mean, is that just a product of what you've done all year? You just have to be able to trust them to make the right choice, because there's going to be a moment. You've said this we've been doing this podcast for like almost 5 years. There's going to be some point when a big game, you're just going to have to make a decision because you won't be able to hear me. How do you replicate that?
Yeah, they couldn't hear me on Tuesday at Craig because it was senior night. You replicate it with again, I'm giving some secrets away. You take the speaker system in the school and you find some background noise on YouTube or something. You just play it really loud so they can't hear you.
Yeah.
So it's the sole reason, and you know this, it's the reason we have numbers. It's the reason we have colors. It's the reason we have hand signals like fist or open hand. But they got to talk to each other. Like we had a miscommunication in the Craig game on Tuesday. And I was hot because they just weren't, like, there was a substitution and they weren't talking to each other. And it was the nuance of like, that's on you. That's not on me. That's on you not communicating. Right. But yes, I think that communication part of it, I think, is a really big thing moving forward. Anything else on postseason? What did you do on postseason?
Just one game at a time.
1-0, that kind of Badger thing.
Yeah, that mentality. Not making them, obviously we do the back work, but having them focus on that game. Sometimes the kids tend to look up past an opponent, and that's the last thing you want to have them do.
Right.
Just focus on trying to get their mind. That you're looking ahead, because that's just good practice. That you're always looking ahead to opponents you're playing in the regular season, because there's just not enough time of the day. You're going to have to do some, I always say, front loading, right? And I think for kids, though, it's just really about we got to go out, we got to win the one game at a time, one game at a time, And I just think that also in practice, your drills got to be very meaningful, and you don't want to have long practices. I think you got to be intentional.
I know.
I think it's got to be really driven.
It's so hard this time of year not to have long practices, because we have so many things to work through. But it is. You're right, because their legs are shot.
3 games this week.
I know. It's going to be tight. It's going to be short, and it's going to be tight. That's the issue. We're going to work on our plays. We're going to work on our quick hitters. We're going to work on those specifics that we can do in 3 reps, 3 perfect reps, and we move on, because I got to keep their legs.
I just think at this point, skill development, fundamentals, all those things kind of go to the wayside, because if they don't have it down at this point, it's not gonna showcase in the season. I think I do think that you got to get lots of free throws up, lots of shots up.
Yes, and don't over add. Another tidbit for the high school coaches that are listening: don't be adding stuff. Now, can you do some little nuances? Yes, but don't be adding like a new offense this time of year, because it won't work. It won't be effective. I agree. I 100% agree. All right. Any other closing things with that topic, Coach?
No.
You like
Good
that?
luck this postseason.
Thank you. Do you think we can win a few games?
The way that you're playing, absolutely.
I think so. I think we're playing pretty good. Go watch the Craig game.
I just think, it's funny that I've been, looking, I was going to talk to you about this, just a thing about the power of 3. I think that the key is if you can have 3 guys that are scoring in the mid-teens, you'll be fine.
Right.
When you got 3 guys, I've looked at some of the best teams in the state this year, 18, 16, and 15. Another team had 18, 16, 15, 11. I think the teams that struggle the most in the off season, they're the good teams. They got one team I looked at had guys scoring 27 and 13 and 8. If that guy doesn't have a very good night, I don't think they're going very far.
I know. It's hard.
I think that balanced approach. It's that balance.
It is,
approach.
And we're a hard scout.
You've had some really good players, but you've had more. I think the balance, it's just harder to scout. And it's always that one guy. I think we're talking about postseason. It's always that one kid you don't expect to do it, and they just make something happen. It happens in every state tournament game I've ever watched. It's like this kid just makes a play, or They make a big shot. You don't expect it. You just don't expect it.
I know.
That's a sign
depth.
of a good team, though.
I do have depth.
It's a sign of a good team, right? Is when that guy, when things are going wrong, you got somebody else that can fill that void.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like that. I feel like, can we lose? Yes. But do I feel like we have some of the teams that can click? I do. I really do. It's like, I mean, and if we can go far in the sectional, who knows? Like, we win the sectional, we can win it. I mean, at least have
one game at a time.
Yeah. You think? I know.
Yeah.
All right.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.